This is Mental Forge, where weakness burns and warriors are built. There is a night when the room feels too still, when the glow of the screen throws other people's lives onto your walls like a private cinema of someone else's highlight reel. A promotion there, a home there, a wedding, a baby, a passport full of stamps, the kind of laughter you swear sounds louder than yours. You look down at your hands, and they feel a little empty. You wonder if there was a secret starting gun you missed, if everyone else heard their cue while you were tying your shoes. You wonder whether the corridor you chose only leads to locked doors. And in that quiet, there is a smaller quiet beneath it, a frequency so gentle you could miss it unless you lean in. It asks, what if this ache is not proof that you are late, but an invitation to define your time? Breathe with me. Inhale slowly and let your shoulders drop, as if you are setting down a backpack full of unasked questions. Exhale and whisper in your mind, I am not behind, I am beginning. This is not a slogan. It is a signal to your nervous system that the story is still yours to write. Your mind will follow your breath like a kite follows wind. Here is the truth that will change the temperature of the room. Feeling behind is a narrative, not a verdict. It is the story that sprouts when comparison gets more water than purpose. You cannot outrun that story with new shoes. You replace it by telling a truer one and training your body to believe it. The arc from doubt to momentum is real, and it is available to you tonight. By the time we finish, you will have a framework to turn insecurity into instruction, scattered effort into rhythm, anxiety into disciplined action, and vague wishes into a definite purpose that organizes your days. You will learn to build a wealth mindset grounded in value and integrity, not in noise. You will practice rituals that rewire your attention, affirmations that reshape your identity, visualizations that train your brain, journaling that clarifies your choices, and challenges that forge resilience. You will anchor yourself in principles that have walked through centuries wearing different clothes but the same spine. Begin with a simple garden. The mind is soil, thoughts are seeds, attention is water, and habit is the sun. James Allen said that as you think in your heart, so you live. Napoleon Hill taught that a definite chief aim backed by burning desire, organized knowledge, and persistent action turns ideas into assets. George S. Clason taught that wealth grows for the one who pays themselves first, controls their appetites, and lets compounding time do what time does best. Benjamin Graham showed that markets are voting machines in the short window and weighing machines across the years, rewarding patience and principle. These are not quaint phrases. They are levers. Pull them, and your life moves. Walk with me into a dim workshop more than a century ago. A man in a rumpled suit, sleeves rolled, eyes stubborn with curiosity, holds a fragile filament between his fingers. The air smells like metal and sweat. He has tried so many materials that the word failure has lost its salt. Thomas Edison is not romanticizing the grind. He is measuring, recording, adjusting, learning. Attempts become data. Data becomes direction. Direction becomes light. One night, the room glows and does not die. It is not magic. It is compounding persistence guided by feedback. When you feel behind because your first or fifth try did not ignite, remember this room. Rename your failures as experiments. They are tuition, not tombstones. Now the drafty laboratory where a woman stirs heavy, glowing solutions with hands chapped by cold and work. There is no applause, only notebooks and a hunger so honest it hurts. Marie Curie is isolating new elements without the safety protocols we would insist on today, driven by the conviction that nature's secrets surrender to patience and precision. She is not ahead or behind. She is moving at the speed of devotion. Progress often looks like poverty until the world catches up. When someone says you should be farther along, check your alignment, not their applause. Some seasons are meant for depth, not display. A small cell with iron bars framing a square of sky. Years move like slow thunder. A man reads, writes, listens, and teaches. He chooses to cultivate dignity in a place designed to strip it away. When the locks finally open, Nelson Mandela steps out and offers reconciliation instead of revenge. He refuses the timeline that says rage is the only honest answer to injustice. His detour became doctrine. If your path has bent in ways you never asked for, consider this. Your detour may be the exact apprenticeship your calling requires. A boy hides a book beneath a coarse shirt and traces letters at night, as if planting seeds in forbidden soil. He learns to read and then to speak, until words become ladders and chains fall in the minds of those who hear him. Frederick Douglass was told to accept silence and chose eloquence, and the world changed its shape around him. Learning in secret when no one is clapping is compound interest on your destiny. Do not despise your quiet hours. They are heavy with promise. In a hospital ward that smells like damp wool and pain, a woman studies charts and counts the dead, then walks into rooms with clean water and courage. She fights not with bullets, but with statistics and soap. Florence Nightingale knows that data can be mercy, that systems can be compassion codified. Leadership is not noise. It is responsibility married to evidence. If you feel behind because you are not loud, remember that precision can move mountains quietly. Hear the footsteps of a man who cannot hear his own music anymore. The silence inside his ears could have become the end. Instead, Ludwig van Beethoven writes for a future he cannot hear, and the notes remind us that some gifts are carried by senses deeper than the skin. If your life has a silence where there used to be sound, let it be a cue to tune a different instrument in you. A small bicycle shop, grease under fingernails, wings sketched in pencil, a field waiting with a stubborn horizon. Two brothers read the air like scripture: crash, repair, measure, and try again. Orville Wright and Wilbur Wright do not have the credentials the world demands. They have experiments, humility, and the courage to keep listening to the wind. They are not late. They are in apprenticeship to wonder. When your credentials feel thin, let your experiments be your argument. A quiet genius walks under a Tuscan sky, with a leather notebook full of questions that never sleep. Leonardo da Vinci draws the curl of a river, the twist of a muscle, the dream of a machine that should not fly, and yet one day will. Patrons want speed. He wants truth. The work ripples across centuries because detail is devotion. If your pace is deliberate, call it devotion. Not every seed sprouts in spring. Some wait for the right storm. A lanky lawyer studies by firelight, loses again and again, buries people he loves, and keeps returning to the work with a taller kind of humility. Abraham Lincoln enters the highest office with a country on the edge and a heart stretched by grief. He was not late. He was tempered. The furnace you think is delaying you might be the one forging the steel you will need. A small woman moves through the night with a danger that knows her name. She returns to bondage lands to ferry human beings toward the first sunrise of their lives. Harriet Tubman listens to a voice inside louder than laws and fear, and the path opens where there used to be walls. Courage like that does not ask, "Am I behind?" It asks, "Am I willing?" A young artist with a stubborn grin takes drawings from office to office and hears the same word again and again: no. He bankrupts, rebuilds, and learns that imagination is management, that art is logistics, that wonder needs a payroll. Walt Disney refuses to surrender the tenderness in him to bitterness. If your creative dream is starving, strengthen your business spine. Dreams need distribution. A printer's apprentice writes his own curriculum at a wooden table. He tracks virtues on a chart each night, experiments with habits, debates, builds, saves, invests, writes, invents. Benjamin Franklin does not wait for permission to become useful. He mothered his own momentum with small, tracked promises. If you want respect, build consistency. If you want consistency, track it. A man with a crown writes to himself about duty, discipline, and the price of being decent in a world with sharp edges. He reminds himself to rise when the bed is warm and the morning is cold, to suffer fools without becoming one, to be a person among people. Marcus Aurelius did not trust moods, he trusted principles. He wrote them because he knew that memory is slippery and pressure makes people leak. A philosopher who had been enslaved teaches that while iron can chain a body, the mind remains sovereign if it holds the right judgments. Epictetus tells his students that the only things truly theirs are their choices and their interpretations. Freedom starts inside, and the door opens when judgment changes. A fighter pilot studies decision under pressure and writes a loop that will outlive him. Observe, orient, decide, act. John Boyd knows that speed and clarity would win battles in businesses alike. He teaches that the way to move faster is to see more clearly. Update your map honestly, and then cut decisively. The loop is yours to use at the crossroads that keep you stuck. A soldier, shot down and captured, survives by practicing meaning in the dark, holding a code with men he cannot see. James Stockdale reminds us that the cruelest trap is to deny the brutal facts or to deny the possibility of triumph. Face the brutal facts. Refuse to let go of hope. That paradox keeps souls from snapping. An athlete once cut from a team uses the sting as a ritual alarm clock. He drills fundamentals until they transform into poetry under pressure. Michael Jordan proves that the myth of talent without toil is a fairy tale told by people who need excuses. Let your rejections become rehearsals for a better performance. A single mother in a cafe, pockets thin, rejection letters piled, keeps returning to the page. J.K. Rowling writes one more paragraph, one more chapter, one more book, until millions of children wait by bookstore doors for midnight, until imagination pays back the loan with interest. If your manuscript, your prototype, your song, your idea keeps hearing no, do not bargain with your dreams. Bargain with your discipline. These lives do not exist to make you feel small. They exist to make you feel honest. What ties them together is not luck or a secret handshake. It is a set of laws that do not age. Purpose over panic. Discipline over drama. Systems over moods. Repetition over intensity. Service over vanity. Compounding over gambling. Integrity over shortcuts. When you align with these, you stop chasing other people's timelines and start creating your own. Now, we turn the camera to you. The architecture of your day builds the cathedral of your life. Without an architecture, you will drift into the blueprint of someone else's agenda. With an architecture, you wake up and know what to do even when your feelings disagree. Begin your mornings with a quiet meeting between breath and intention. Sit upright. Place your feet on the floor like you are planting them in ground you trust. Inhale slowly until your body softens. Hold gently, then exhale longer than you inhaled. Repeat until your thoughts widen. Then ask 3 questions and write the answers in ink. What matters most today? What must be done first to honor that? Who do I choose to be, regardless of what happens? The pen is not a toy. It is a tool that convinces your mind to take your words seriously. Move your body next. You do not need to chase exhaustion. You need to chase sincerity. Break a sweat. Feel your heart remind you that you are alive. As you move, visualize your future self, watching and nodding, grateful that you are choosing strength over inertia. Motion changes emotion. Chemistry obeys movement. When you sit again, close your eyes and see the work that matters most. Do not only see the trophy, see the steps. See your hands typing, your voice presenting, your feet running, your face staying calm when the obstacle rises. The brain rehearses imagined action enough that real action feels familiar. Familiar feels safe. Safe makes bold easier. Speak to yourself as a coach, not as a critic. Affirmations are not spells, they are strategy. They reprogram attention and identity. Say, I keep promises to myself. I am the kind of person who finishes. I turn fear into focus. I operate from faith and disciplined action. I create value and wealth with integrity. I am patient with time and relentless with effort. Repeat softly. Your nervous system hears tone more than volume. Close your days with a brief review. What matched my values? What did I avoid that must be faced tomorrow? What one lesson will I carry? Write 3 things you appreciate, small or large. Gratitude is not denial, it is a lens. It shifts your brain from constant threat scanning to balanced awareness. You will still see risks. You will also see openings. Sleep as if it were a ritual worthy of respect. because it is. Sleep clears metabolites from the brain, resets emotional circuits, and sharpens memory. Tired minds make sloppy choices and dramatize small problems into monsters. Rest is part of training. Decision is where most days slip through your fingers. You wait for certainty as if it might knock. Certainty is a story you tell yourself to avoid blame. Build a process. Define the choice clearly. Identify the few variables that matter. Ask what evidence would satisfy you for each variable. Set a brief deadline measured in hours or days, not in vague someday. Gather, decide, commit. After deciding, lock the decision for a period unless new and significant evidence appears. This one practice can rescue months that indecision would steal. Add a lens of expected value and learning. When options feel close, choose the one with higher learning per unit of risk. Skills are portable equity. They appreciate across contexts. Certifications expire. Capabilities compound. Remember John Boyd's loop. Observe reality honestly. Orient using your principles, your patterns, your mentor's wisdom. Decide within the tempo the terrain demands. Act fully. Then loop again. Speed comes from clarity and rehearsal. Fear will stand at every threshold with a clipboard of doubts. Treat fear like a consultant to be heard and then assigned a chair, not the driver's seat. Use a stoic and therapeutic drill. Write the fear at the top of a page. What am I afraid will happen? Then write what you can do to prevent it. Then what you can do to repair if it happens. Then what you will miss if you let fear stop you. Specificity starves fear. Vagueness feeds it. Let's talk money with reverence and realism. Wealth is not a god. It is a tool that amplifies who you are. If you feel behind, begin by building containers and rules. Pay your future self first. Automate a consistent percentage of income to flow into savings and investments the moment it arrives. Even if the slice is small, consistency matters more than drama. Learn the difference between assets that pay you and liabilities that invoice you. Favor ownership in productive enterprises over consumption that fades. Diversify enough to sleep and focus enough to move the needle. Write a simple investment policy for yourself. How much you will save, where you will allocate, when you will rebalance, what would cause you to change the plan. Follow the plan you wrote when calm, especially when markets shout. Emotional steadiness is an edge. Study value creation. Money follows usefulness. Learn to listen for problems people will pay to solve. Develop skills that blend empathy, analysis, and persuasion. Selling is not trickery when it is service. It is pairing a real problem with a real solution and telling the story honestly. Negotiate in good faith, aiming for agreements that last because both sides feel seen. As you grow, find leverage. Tools, code, media, systems, capital, and teams multiply effort. Without leverage, you hit ceilings set by your hours. With leverage, your contribution travels while you rest. Anchor these practices in integrity. Without character, prosperity collapses under its own weight. Keep truth in your mouth and your calendar. Deliver what you promise. When you miss, own it quickly and repair. Do not cut corners that cut people. Your reputation is compound interest. It accrues slowly and can be destroyed quickly. Now, rituals in detail, because the air gets thin where people only speak in inspiration. When you wake, step into light as soon as possible. Natural light anchors your internal clock and makes sleep tonight easier. Drink water. Make your bed with a single smooth motion. It is a small pledge of order to the day. Do your most important creative or strategic work before you check messages. Give your best attention to your best intention. Your phone can wait. Your future will not. Practice deep work in focused blocks. Choose a task. Remove distractions. Work with calm intensity. When your attention frays, stand, stretch, breathe, resume. Over time, you will build cognitive stamina that most never build because they skim their attention like stones across water. Eat in ways that stabilize energy. If you have used food to numb feelings, pause before you reach. Breathe. Ask what you truly need. Then choose a response that keeps your body a trusted ally. Connect on purpose. Send a note to someone you respect with a specific compliment. Offer help without a hook. Relationships are gardens, not vending machines. Tend them over years. They become bridges to places your feet cannot walk alone. At day's end, write down the top tasks for tomorrow. Set clothes or tools for the morning. This tells your mind there is a plan so it can rest. Let me put a gentle invitation on the table. If this message is fanning a small flame in you, stay close. Subscribe so you have a place that reminds you to train, not just to wish. Drifting is easier alone. Rising is easier together. Identity is the engine behind all of this. You move faster when action flows from who you believe you are. If you believe you are the one who always fumbles, you will unconsciously knock the ball from your own hands to prove yourself right. Choose a new identity and prove it with small daily votes. I am an athlete, so I train. I am a creator, so I create. I am a leader, so I initiate hard conversations with compassion. Identity is built by behavior. Behavior is built by systems. Systems are built by decisions. Decisions are built by beliefs. It is a loop you can design on purpose. Resilience is not a single trait you either have or lack. It is a braided rope of practices. Physiologically, you learn to downshift your nervous system with breath, movement, sunlight, nature, and sleep. Cognitively, you practice reframing. When adversity arrives, ask, what else could this mean that serves me? Spiritually, you root your worth in something larger than your current metrics. Pray or meditate and remember that the sky is still the sky even when the clouds are loud. When one strand frays, the others hold. Here is a challenge that will change your trajectory. Choose a keystone skill that advances your mission. Writing that sells. Data analysis that clarifies. Coding that builds. Speaking that moves. Leadership that multiplies teams. For 1 week, practice that skill for 1 focused hour each day. Track it on paper. When you do the hour, draw a bold line through the date. Tell one person you respect that you are doing this. Ask them to check in. If you miss a day, never miss 2 days in a row. This builds streaks and accountability. Streaks turn effort into identity. Add a generosity challenge. Once each week, do something that helps someone without expecting a return. Write a testimonial for a colleague. Introduce 2 people who can help each other. Share a resource that saved you time. This trains your mind to see abundance. It also builds social capital that money alone cannot buy. Wealth is numerical and relational. The richest account is trust. Train decision speed with small drills. At the store, pick within seconds. When reading, decide after a few chapters whether to continue or archive. When pondering a message, set a short deadline and reply. These micro decisions teach your brain that most choices are reversible and that action reveals information waiting on the other side. Your fear of choosing shrinks with practice. Write a purpose statement that feels like a spine. Who you serve, what problem you solve, why it matters. Speak it out loud. Test it in conversations. Refine it until it is strong enough to say no to distractions and yes to the work that is yours. Your calendar should begin to look like your purpose, not like a collage of other people's priorities. When comparison claws at you, pause the scroll, place a hand on your chest, breathe 3 slow breaths, say quietly, I bless their success and return to my mission. Then move your own story forward by a single step. The antidote to envy is motion. The cure for FOMO is focus. Let us ground your wealth mindset in simple rules that survive storms. Live below your means so your means can stretch. Treat saving as rent, you pay your future freedom. Put your money to work in assets that grow and produce. Spread across enough baskets that a single shock cannot sink you. Understand how businesses you own or invest in make money and why customers choose them. Think in decades, not days. Revisit your plan a few times a year, not a few times a day. Keep records. Celebrate milestones with gratitude, not with self-sabotage. Give as you grow. Generosity keeps your heart bigger than your balances. For those building a company, read and learn the language of margins, cash flow, and runway. Forecast conservatively, then aim to beat your forecast with creativity and courage. Share upside with the people who help create it. People fight for what they feel they own. For those inside an organization, treat your role like a business. Identify your internal customers. Solve their real problems. Document your outcomes. Ask for feedback and compensation with data in hand. Build skills that travel so you are free to choose. Build a weekly review ritual. Sit with a notebook and scan your life across health, relationships, craft, finances, spirit, and contribution. For each, write your aim, the next concrete action, and when it will live on your calendar. Schedule deep work as appointments with your future self. Protect them like you would a doctor's visit. When you miss, do not burn down your plan. Investigate, patch, return. Create a single-page operating document. Write your purpose in a sentence. List 3 guiding values. Name your unfair advantages. Name your weaknesses and how you will compensate. List your top initiatives for the next quarter. Write your daily rhythm. Name your anti-fragile habits that make you stronger through stress. Read this page every morning. It is a mirror that tells the truth and a map that remembers the road when you forget. Set boundaries with kindness and firmness. No is not cruelty when it protects your yes. People who do not respect your boundaries are not your people. Protect mornings for creation, afternoons for collaboration when possible, evenings for restoration. Strengthen your spiritual spine. Begin or end the day in silence. Ask for clarity, wisdom, and courage. Keep a log of moments when you felt guided or protected. Read it when the night grows heavy. Bless your work and the people you serve. When money comes, assign some of it to heal the world in the ways that break your heart and light your hope. Listen to more stories that pour courage. A merchant's son crosses oceans, counts pennies at a small counter, studies the rhythms of buying, and decides that simplicity and scale can be friends. He builds quietly, obsessed with logistics and the dignity of customers, and years later, the world walks his aisles. An artist spends long days studying light, patient to the point of stubbornness, until her canvases breathe like people. A surgeon faces brutal outcomes, invents a new procedure, absorbs criticism, and keeps cutting until lives stop slipping away. History flatters success by making it look linear. Your timeline is not a straight road, it is a spiral staircase. You will pass the same challenges again at higher floors and see farther each time. When the voice of doubt grows clever, borrow the voices of your mentors, living and gone. Keep a page of lines that fortify you. Read them aloud. Then do the next right thing. Do not argue with your mind all day. Train it with action. Action is faith in work clothes. As your life compounds, practice humility. Pride ossifies and closes windows. Humility breathes and opens doors. Seek feedback. Study the work of people ahead of you in specific domains. Teach those a few steps behind. Teaching cements learning and multiplies impact. You rise faster when you lift while you climb. Your body is not an afterthought. It is the vehicle for your mission. Sleep deeply. Hydrate. Strength train to build self-trust and a mind that believes it can push and recover. Step into sunlight. Touch trees, grass, stone. Nature is an old friend with modern benefits. Do not burn the body to fuel the brand. Without health, your hopes get heavy. Run a 3-week experiment. Remove one habit that drains you and add one that builds you. Remove late-night doom scrolling and replace it with a wind-down ritual of reading, stretching, and gratitude. Remove sugary jolts and add water with a squeeze of lemon. Remove gossip and add direct, kind conversations. Small swaps, repeated, change the feel of your days. Track your money for 1 month, not to shame yourself but to tell the truth to your future. Categories reveal leaks. Patch them. Decide which spending actually increases your well-being and which only numbs. Redirect savings toward investments or education that compound. Build a cushion, so surprise does not shatter you. That cushion is financial and emotional. Knowing you can handle an emergency makes you bolder in building. Create rituals of celebration that honor effort and progress, not only outcomes. When you complete a streak of deep work, go for a walk somewhere you love. Tell yourself the story of how you kept showing up, and thank your past self for not quitting. When you hit a savings milestone, mark it with a generous dinner for someone who believed in you. This connects discipline with joy. As confidence grows, take bolder swings. Apply for the role that stretches your edges. Launch the product you have been polishing in secret. Pitch the partnership that scares you a little. Silence and no are not verdicts, they are feedback. Learn, adjust, swing again. People will call it overnight. You will know it was 1,000 mornings. When confusion arrives like fog, return to first principles. What problem am I solving? Who is it for? What do they truly need? What resource do I control? What constraint can I loosen creatively? Simplify until something obvious emerges. Then act. Complexity is a clever way to postpone courage. Guard your attention like a precious mineral. Your inputs shape your outputs. Curate the voices in your head. Read works that sharpen you. Listen to people who build rather than merely critique. Limit outrage machines. Be informed without being inflamed. With the hours you save, build something someone will thank you for. Pause with me for a heartbeat. If this is giving you strength, make it a habit. Subscribe, so this voice is a gentle knock on your door when the old story tries to drag you back. Turn on the reminders that say, return to training, return to purpose, return to your next step. Now a pact with the part of you that is tired of starting over. This is your last restart because you will build on systems, not on moods. You will define your purpose and write it where you can see it. You will align your habits with that purpose and track them like a professional. You will guard your mind from poisoned inputs. You will invest consistently and patiently. You will move your body even when you do not feel like it. You will love people with presence. You will pray or meditate daily. You will apologize quickly and forgive fully. You will drop the drama of detours and treat them as training. When fear rises, stand up. Feel your feet on the floor. Name 3 things you can see, 2 things you can touch, 1 thing you can hear. This anchors you in the present. Then take the smallest meaningful action available. Small is not weak. Small is workable. Workable becomes momentum. Momentum shrinks fear. When storms hit, open your calendar. Do not abandon it. Adjust it. Protect essentials. Keep the rhythm. Imagine your future self watching through the rain, nodding with respect. Each kept appointment is a brick in the road you are laying toward them. Set a cadence for strategy. Once each week, step back from your life and ask, if a world-class version of me replaced me in my role, what would they do differently? Choose one of those actions and do it. These become your upgrades. They will feel uncomfortable. That is how you know they are new muscle. Do not forget to be human. Laugh. Let joy puncture the pressure. Dance in your kitchen. Sing poorly in your car. Tell the story of your day with humor. Joy keeps your heart supple and your mind open. Think legacy quietly. Document what you learn. Write letters to your children or to your younger self. Turn your frameworks into tools others can use. Legacy is not a statue. It is a toolbox that outlives you. Prepare for prosperity so it does not unmake you. Success amplifies your habits. Practice generosity now. Practice boundaries now. Practice humility now. Practice stewardship now. When abundance arrives, it will find a vessel that can hold it without spilling values. Let us stitch the thread. You are not behind. You are standing at the exact threshold where your new life begins. The comparison that cut you was a story. Replace it with a truer one. You are in training, and your training is sacred. You know how to breathe when the wave hits. You know how to write and review and refine. You know how to serve and sell with integrity. You know how to save and invest consistently. You know how to move your body, protect your mind, and open your spirit. You know how to build discipline without cruelty. You know how to choose purpose over panic, faith over fear, action over avoidance, ownership over excuses. From this night forward, when the thought appears that you are late, you will smile slightly and say, This is the moment my character wakes up. You will close the app, open your notebook, and write the next step. You will take the action and let the action program your mind. You will rest and rise. You will make the calls. You will take the notes. You will lift the weight. You will read the pages. You will listen, and you will speak. You will love people and let them love you back. You will do it again tomorrow and the day after, until your life hums with the quiet thunder of a person who became who they said they would be. If this spoke to the deepest part of you, if you felt your spine straighten and the fog lift, subscribe and stay close. Share this with someone you love who is tired of feeling late. Then stand up, breathe, and take the first small action. The world is waiting for the sound of your footsteps, and somewhere, far from this room, a bus door opens like a promise, and you step on, and for the first time in a long time, you know exactly where you are going. Champions, your mind has been forged a little stronger today, but the real test isn't what you learned, it's what you do with it. Take action, dominate your day, and remember, we're not just building better thoughts, we're forging unstoppable lives. The forge doesn't stop, and neither do you. If this episode hit you where it counts, subscribe to Mental Forge Academy and join the Brotherhood of Champions who refuse to settle for ordinary. Go transform, strike while the mind is hot.